Do you or your clients ever feel like you're swimming in a sea of information overload when it comes to wellness advice? And that perhaps no matter how many labs are run, protocols, methods, programs, gadgets, or whatever else are implemented, there's still feelings of stuckness, overwhelm, and uncertainty in terms of what do I do next? What if I told you that there's a much simpler, more practical way to wire your brain, nervous system, and entire being for wellness? One that cuts through the noise and puts you on the right path from the beginning. In this video, I'm going to share 3 foundational steps with you that helped me immensely in my own healing journey from complex chronic illness and trauma that will help you to create lasting change, build new neural pathways, and align your identity with the wellness you seek to create. Let's dive in. So in my journey with navigating often disabling chronic illness, trauma, and burnout, I did buy into all the noise, all the things, the fancy treatment centers, the protocols, the fancy lab tests, the gadgets, and everything. And don't get me wrong, some of them helped to some degree, but truth be told, none of them led me to sustainable wellness. If I was to be honest with you, overall, I would say that doing all that and spending all of that money and investing the time and energy that went into it ultimately further taxed an already very taxed system. Okay? And when I finally became completely disabled with illness and couldn't work anymore, we couldn't afford for me to continue on that path. So I had to learn a better way. And that's when I dove deep into learning all things mind-body, psychoneuroimmunology, the factors that cause us to develop chronic disease, and what we need to do to get well. And that led me to a path of returning to the basics, the fundamental pillars of health, and making them a consistent part of my daily lifestyle and embodying them to the point of that is how I showed up in my life. And slowly but surely, I started to heal and evolved into being the person that is able to sit here and record this video and share my experiences with you today. And now I would like to share with you what I believe to be the absolute 3 starting points for wiring ourselves for wellness. Let's break them down. Step 1 is to make a bold commitment to yourself. Set an intention with absolute conviction. Why is this so critical? Because a new future cannot and will not take shape without a strong declaration of it. When you speak your goals with unwavering belief, you inspire action and transform possibility into reality. You send an assertive message to the universe saying, yo, I need and want you to conspire in my favor. Bold, assertive declarations rooted in your beliefs, values, and intentions are powerful beyond what your mind can likely fathom at the time. They communicate not just what you aim to create, but your deep level commitment to yourself in taking the consistent actions needed to make it all happen. This is absolutely the first step in wiring yourself for wellness and creating the future that you envision for yourself. Foundational step number 2 is to adopt a regular practice of checking in with yourself regularly throughout the day. And if you find yourself in a mind space where you're ruminating, worrying, fretting, obsessing, spiraling, and whatever else, which most of us tend to get caught up there often, you want to drop out of your mind and down into your body. And here's why this is so critical. Contrary to popular belief, the body sends more regulatory signals of safety versus threat up to the brain than the other way around. And so if your body is stuck in a constant state of stress and contraction, your brain and nervous system will register that threat. And then your thoughts, your emotions, and your behaviors will follow suit. The longer this goes on, the more of a deeply ingrained pattern it becomes in your neurobiology. So to wire yourself for safety and wellness, you need to start with optimizing the two most fundamental regulatory signals. And those are breath and posture. So as you check in with yourself, practice smooth, slowed, rhythmic breathing through your nose down into your diaphragm, and maintain an upright, expansive, yet relaxed posture. These might seem like small shifts, but I promise you, if you keep up with them consistently, they will have profound impact on how your brain, your nervous system, and your entire being respond to the environment and life at large. Okay, finally, step number 3 is practice, practice, practice. Practice is the absolute cornerstone of creating new neural pathways in your brain and nervous system. I mean, think about anything that you've mastered in your life, whether it's playing an instrument, learning a new language, excelling at your job, a sport that you became amazing at, any new skill. You got there through consistent, intentional practice. You decided you wanted to do it, and then you did it regularly, day after day, week after week, month after month. But here's a deeper truth. Consistent practice is what leads to embodiment. It's how you create a new identity that aligns with the version of ourselves that we're seeking to create. Take James Clear, the world-renowned habit change expert and author of the book Atomic Habits. He taught that identity level is the magic zone of creating new neural pathways and long-term change. So when we practice something consistently, we're not just building a skill, we're reinforcing the belief of this is who I am. This is how I show up in my life. For example, if you want to become someone who is more focused, you don't just practice focus, you embody the identity of a focused person. You start to think, act, and make decisions as a focused person would. This is why practice is so powerful. It's not just about doing something repeatedly. It's about rewiring your brain and your entire being to align with the identity of the person that you want to become, the realities that you want to create. So whether it's better eating habits, better exercise habits, improved focus, showing up in your relationships in a more nourishing, supportive way, emotional regulation, consistent practice is absolutely foundation for creating the sustainable change you seek. So start small. If you want better focus, maybe start with just reading 5 pages of a book, preferably a real book with pages that you turn and not a screen. We all have way too many screens in our life. Or set a timer for 30 or 45 or 60 minutes of uninterrupted work time. Whatever it is, practice it consistently. Make changes, course correction, and over time, it will eventually become part of your identity, part of who you are. And this is the zone of where transformation, healing, all of the good stuff about wiring ourselves for wellness happens. All right, so as a brief recap, here are the 3 foundational steps to implement to start wiring your brain, nervous system, and entire being for wellness. Number 1, make a commitment to yourself with conviction. Stand in your truth, announce your plan to the universe so the collective can start conspiring in your favor. Number 2, do regular check-ins with yourself throughout the day. And if you find yourself in a mind space, drop into your body and optimize your breath and your posture. And number 3, commit to consistent daily practice to build new neural pathways and embody the identity you seek to create. And here are 3 small action steps that I challenge you to start immediately today, right now. Number 1, write down your bold declaration of your wellness goal. Post it somewhere where you will see it daily. 2, do a quick breath and posture check-in right now. And number 3, choose one small habit to start and practice it daily with no excuses for the next 30 days. All right, that is a wrap for today's video. If this message resonated with you and you would like to take a deeper dive into learning the science, psychology, and art of wiring oneself for wellness and success, I encourage you to check out 2 of our offerings. The first, our Wellness Code Essentials course, which is a small self-paced course at a low investment but packs immense value. And number 2, our live 5-day challenge, Breakthroughs Beyond Protocols, which teaches all about how to leverage HTMA, hair tissue mineral analysis, through the lens of stress, trauma, burnout, and transformational coaching to create breakthrough healing for yourself and the clients you work with in your wellness practice. You can find the link to our website in the video information below. And once you land on our website, you will see the link to the Essentials course there, as well as the 5-day challenge. Until next time, cheers to your resilience, healing, and success.